Well, it sucks to have to do it like this, but unfortunately, when you're new and you don't know what you're doing, you might have to. All right, you can see what I'm dealing with up here. It says, since I started the live on YouTube first, it's wanting me to shut down the live to access the camera for this program, which is really stupid. So, and it won't let me full screen mode this anymore, so we'll have to deal with it. So anyways, welcome you guys. Sorry that I haven't made a video in a while. I've been really busy. I've been doing 3 classes and working full-time as a teacher here out in Alaska. And last night I had a speech, and it was the last class for one of my classes, so now I'll be down to 2 classes. One of them is this art class, like you're seeing on the screen here. This is one of my last art projects. So yeah, that being said, I might have a little bit more time to start making some videos again now that I'll be down to 2 classes. And this picture right here was really annoying. That thing's just going to keep bopping up and down the entire time, isn't it? This picture here, we're learning about a one-point perspective. So all the lines on the side here are, if you were to use a ruler, all the lines on the sides would go directly to a point right in the center. And you can see I drew this little light bulb here, which kind of shows, like, this was to show that we know about shading, right? Doing the shading, coloring, and then also making shadows and stuff like that. This was a pretty fun one. And then after we learned this, we did another project. This is one where I did a little village street, also using the one-point perspective, where you can see all the lines going this direction are all pointing towards one little point there. So pretty cool little picture. I like how that one turned out. I know this isn't why you guys are here, but I like to show this stuff. And it's fun, right? And I'm a teacher, and that's why I'm talking to you guys about this one-point perspective. That's your new thing you learned today. All right, let's get on to it. So, not financial advice. Anything I say may or may not happen. I am invested in Occugen, so I'm pretty biased. So I have a pretty bullish sentiment. So keep that in mind. Anything can happen. Negative news can come out, and this stock could go back down pretty low, right? Which nobody wants. But right now, we can all basically give ourselves a pat on the back, right? Because we've been killing it. Ocugen has, I can't remember where we were at the last time I made my last video. I think we were still under $1. And now, as most of you know, some of you might not, but most of you know, we jumped up over $2, I think, to around $2.10. And as of this morning, I think we're coming back down, but you know what? I'm not worried about that at all. I knew it was going to come. We were due for a cool off here. We can't just keep going up and up and up forever. And that is where the technicals, knowing some TA, can really help you out, and not just think like I used to that it's going to keep going up, because that's not how it works. There has to be a cool off period, which right now we're going to have. It's going to bring down the RSI back to more reasonable area. We were all the way up to, we got all the way back up to 87, which I told some people 87 on the RSI was where we capped out on our last two recent runs. So I knew that we were going to turn around very soon when we got there, and that's exactly what has happened. But not to worry. Getting a little ahead of myself. We'll get to that point here later. Let's take a look at what is coming up in the near future here for Ocugen. We have the World Vaccine Congress, which is on April 2nd through the 4th, and Aaron is going to be talking. You guys can't. Oh, you can see me. Okay, that's nice. Aaron is going to be at this one, and if you were on Twitter this morning, you may have seen that Billy the Kid, I think he was alluding to saying that he thinks Aaron is going to announce at this that the trials are beginning, is kind of what I took his tweet as, but I don't know. Nobody knows for sure, right? So we can't take his word for word, but that would be pretty awesome. I think it probably does have something to do about that, right? But they haven't ever really announced something like that at an event, right? It usually comes in the form of a SEC filing first. So we'll see, right? If he is going to say something at this event, there will definitely be a SEC filing that morning or the night before or something like that, and we'll know that what's going to be announced there. But I'm hoping he's right. I'm hoping that it will be announced then, and I do think that we're going to hear something about this in the near future, right? Shankar and Ocgn have been saying early 2024, as well as putting March, April on there. Well, we only have a month left, right? We got a couple more days left in this month, and then next month, that's the end of April, right? So we know within the next month, we are going to have this announcement of Ocu 500 trial starting, which, if you don't know, is like a multi it's two of them, right? They're doing inhalation and mucosal or whatever. So they're going to be doing Covaxin kind of against itself to see which one is better, the inhalation spray or like a mucosal drop vaccine. So having said that, they're going to announce funding for that, right? And we're talking about NIH, NIAID is going to announce funding for Ocugen. And from the research I've done, Ocgn is the only company that's going to be doing this double trial type thing per se. And that has me to believe that we're going to get a pretty big chunk of money from them. And the last company to get a chunk of money from BARDA for the next gen vaccines was Vaxart, and they got about 9 million. And that is just for one little part of a pill that Vaxart is making for COVID. But all the companies, the vaccine companies that have gotten funding, have gotten a lot more, 20 to 30 million, and those up to like 2 to 300 million. We're going to be somewhere probably in between those, right? I don't think we'll be lower or as low as 9 million. I don't think we'll probably be up as high as 2 or 300 million, but that's just my thought. I could be completely wrong, right? Maybe we'll get 5 million from BARDA, but I doubt it. So that's one thing coming up here. And this is just another quick little slide about there. Ocugen is a gold sponsor at the World Vaccine Congress. It is a packed event. I got an email yesterday saying too late. The seats are all taken, filled up. We don't have any more tickets for sale for this event. So it's going to be quite a packed event where they're talking about R&D and strategic partnering for the global vaccine industry. I mean, maybe those are just whatever you call it, hot words for the industry, but that's exactly what Occugen has been talking about. So we'll see. All right. Also, in case Ocugen does not announce this one, like they didn't announce the last meeting that Aaron went to for vaccines, which was March 14th, I think. For whatever reason, they didn't announce that. Here is another smaller one that he's going to. This one's in June for the second annual retinal imaging biomarker. So marker calendars for that. It's another event that they haven't mentioned yet. So recently, as we know, the last 3 months, right, Ocugen has been on this amazing bull run, right? That's another reason why I'm not worried, right? The sentiment around Ocugen has completely changed from the last 2 years. Everybody's saying scam, you name it, right? But now it's changed. Now everyone's talking about how Ocugen is going to be this next elite company, right? And how they have all these things going for it, which is amazing. So I'm not worried about us going down right now because I know that we're in a major bull run, and whatever we're going down right now, thinking of it as it's releasing some of that built up pressure that's going to allow us to shoot back up, right? Because, like I said, the RSI was way up here. It gets maxed out and it can't just keep going. And you have to relieve some of that pressure for it to be able to move again, right? And part of the reason why we had such that huge run up, some people don't think that it was, but it definitely was because the court case that Ocugen had won, they announced it on the 21st, and then the next 2 days we went up like almost 100%. It definitely had a lot to do with that. We were already on a bullish run because of what it is to come, but this was like the icing on the cake. And you may have seen my post saying, like, man, this couldn't have came out at a better time, right? If this didn't come out, we probably wouldn't be exactly where we are right now, so high. So that was a good one. I really liked that this came out right when it did. And I think that's how it's going to continue to happen. I think if we keep dropping in price, I think out of out of nowhere something else is going to pop up. And I think they planned it this way, right? The 10-day ticket compliance is leading right up into when earnings have to be dropped. Like everything is lining up exactly, I think, as perfect as it could be, which is amazing. Another aligning of the stars here. Today is March 26th, which is NSAD, which is National Science Awareness Day. And you can see here that it's one of the most important days of the year to celebrate scientific achievements. Hopefully, by the end of the day, we may be celebrating some sort of scientific achievement that Occugen announces. Maybe they probably are celebrating something at Occugen right now. I can guarantee you that. Okay. This is just a little post that I found on LinkedIn, right? This is the gentleman right here in the middle. Obadiah is the one that invited Occugen out to the UAE to give his speech and tell them about our gene therapies because it's really needed out there in that area. And this was a post where he was talking to these gentlemen. This is the venture capital, right? A hedge fund or institution. And they're saying, oh, he gave us a couple of hints of who we should be investing in. And I said, well, we have a couple of hints right there who they should be investing in. And Obadiah himself had a post on LinkedIn saying, one of my favorite discussions, I'm pretty sure it was him, or it might have been the other guy. One of my favorite discussions there was the Ocugen one. And there was another post along with this one too, saying that we have new, a new funding here in the UAA for 500 billion and 30 billion here with this one and this one. And then, we have Ocugen smiling at us right in the face. So I think it's possible that in the near future we may see, I don't know if it's going to be a partnership, but maybe some sort of funding coming from the UAE, or hopefully maybe soon Ocugen announces another R&D facility over in the UAE, because if you don't know, Ocugen is pushing to go global right now, which would be good for everybody. Like they've been saying, for shareholders and patients alike, right? Let's see. So I wanted to throw this up here. I don't know why I have it right here in the middle of all this. Doesn't make any sense. But anyways, I think I put this all together last night after my speech I had in my class, and I was just too tired to do it last night. And I figured nobody would be on, and there'd probably be a lot more people to watch today. And I'm so sorry, you guys. When I look to my left, I see how pathetic this stream looks. Next time I'll have to get it figured out so it doesn't look so terrible. If you just joined, there's been some technical difficulties that's unfortunately made it look like this. But what I wanted to show here is that this is called a bullish flag, and this is like twice I've been able to call the last two runs. Right, the first one was this one, the run up here, and now this one I actually had called perfect. That one day we hit exactly 152 and kind of sat right there on my line, which was pretty amazing that TA works that nicely. And let me go ahead and pop up this so I can kind of show you exactly how to do it here. For the next time. So you guys can try this out for yourself. How you do that bullish flag pattern that I did, you use your trend line, right? And you go from the run up here, right? Here's this bullish run up, and you would start your first trend line there. I don't know why I have it on extend. Turn that off. Okay, so now I have my green line right there. Let's zoom in here. Here's my flagpole, and it should go from the very bottom of this candle to the very top of this run. You see that? Yeah. Okay. And then, so that's your next one starts at the top of that and goes down, but you don't really know when it's going to go back up. So sometimes, right, you have to guess on this one a little bit. But how I was only off by 1 day of when this run would happen on this last one. And I did that by simply looking at the time in between this last run that I'm looking at right here and the second one. And I said, okay, I used these blocks here in the background to help me figure that out. I said, okay, here's 1 week, here's about a week and a half. And in about a week and a half is when the last run took off. And so that's how I placed my orange one, the second one I did. That's why I placed it right where I did, because I said, okay, the last run, it was a week and a half. So I did the next one in a week and a half. And bear in mind, that was before we got to that point, right? So that's how I did this one. And then after you get that one situated to where you want, you come back here to your flagpole and you clone it. So it's the same exact angle and the same exact length. And then you come and you place that connected just perfectly to the one that you have sloping down. And now you have your new flagpole extended up. And then the top of that is your breakout goal, right? Or that's where you expect the price to go. And that's exactly what I have been able to do twice in a row for each run up I've had. But for this signal, unfortunately, you have to wait for it to drop back down, right? So I can't do that for you right now. But I bet you that's what's going to happen. Oh, and for the length, I forgot to mention, because this is a Fibonacci pattern too, right? Oops. So you use your Fibonacci for this too. So at the bottom of your flagpole, and you have to know how to do the golden pocket. So you might, if you haven't seen my old videos with the golden pocket, you'll want to go back and watch those to figure this out too. So on this one that's sloping down here, it was the golden pocket that it came back down and hit before it took back off. So that was another signal there that let me know this is most likely going to be a bounce back point, right? Which is exactly what happened. So before we got this green candle right here, and even before this red one, I'm pretty sure I put this line down like when this candle was here, when this one was here. And yeah, I just lost my train of thought. But anyways, yeah, exactly. It hit the golden pocket exactly is what I'm pointing out here. And then we went on that run back, the flagpole that brought us all the way back up here, right? So that's how you do it there too. So having said that, if we come back here and let's see if we can do it for today. Let me get rid of this one. What is going on? Oh, okay, get rid of this. So let's just say this is the flagpole that started this run. Like I said, these, once we hit the top here, it was one full square before we came back up. But you can see that these squares are also not perfectly aligned too. So you kind of have to do it by date. So this one was from January 2nd to February 5th. So almost a month before it went back up. So I had this kind of slow ride back down. So right now we're at March 25th. If we were to go over to April 25th with this one, first let's do the golden pocket so I know how far down it's possible we might go. Now I'm going to come back here. April 25th-ish, right? Won't let us quite get there. Let's say I clone my flagpole again. I bring it back over here. I want to get this just right. Okay, so this is what we could be looking at here for our next run, right? You might say $1.40. That's insane. I can't believe we might go back down to $1.40, but that's just how it works, you guys. And I've been saying this video to video to video. Don't get scared when these drops come. This is your buying opportunity, especially if we come all the way back down here to the golden pocket. That's your buying opportunity, right? It's been 100% true every single time for the last 3 months. This has been playing out. We get this huge push up with all this volume. It starts dropping back down, right? Slowly comes back down to the golden pocket. We get this huge push up with volume, starts slowly coming back down. It drops back down to the golden pocket. It doesn't always come back down to the golden pocket, but you can see we've already dropped below the 0.38 level here. It's possible we might bounce off the 0.5 and then head back up. That's also very possible, right? And it's also possible that we come back down all the way to the golden pocket, right? I still wouldn't be scared if that happened. We're about to meet NASDAQ compliance, and that is super bullish, super bullish. And if they drop some news tomorrow with the NASDAQ compliance letter saying we meet compliance, all this goes out the window. There may not be any dropping back down to the 0.5 or the golden pocket. We may shoot right back up. That may happen after hours. Like, let's say if they were going to drop news today, it probably would be after hours because they want it to drop down right now and cool off. Get that RSI back down so we can't have this next big push up that we're looking here, which would be all the way up to 240. And that 240 mark actually makes a lot of sense, you guys. because when we come back here, let me extend this one left. When we come back here, we can see that 240 is right in the center of all this old resistance and support, which means this whole area right here is all, it's like it's highly likely that when we push up, they will sit in this area and kind of do similar to what we see here, right? That's exactly why I do this flipped gray chart, so it's easier to see over here. Okay, when we get to this area, we may do some up and down movement because it's old, historic, resistant, and support, right? So that 240 makes a lot of sense. That's where the next push could get us up. So don't be scared if we go down. Be smart. Be the person that knows this TA and saying it actually makes sense that we may go down further. Because that's just how it works. This stuff isn't magic. It's not just going to keep going up because people like the stock. It has to follow the TA as well. And knowing the TA can help you know when the ups and downs are going to come. Yeah. So yesterday somebody said if we hit $2, it's just going to spike from there, which was completely wrong. And I knew it was wrong because we were one tick away on our RSI from topping out from our previous runs, which I'll show you here too. So that's how you do that bullish flag pattern. You can see we may go down, possible to go down to 140, but then it will shoot us back up to 240. That's how it works. Okay, so also real quick, I've had this blue line here at 282 for a long time, which is also another like major resistance and support line. And I thought it was funny how the 200 SMA here, this light blue line, as soon as it hit my 282 line, it just started going completely sideways and just got glued to that, which is really interesting. So that's another price. Like I feel like there's a magnet just sucking Occugen to that blue line right now at 285, which will complete that larger cup that I posted about yesterday. Let me get rid of this because we're just getting out of control here with all this stuff and it's bothering me. And also, we've never been over this 200 SMA line. Never, ever on the weekly. Right? This has never happened in the history of this stock. Back here is when Ocugen took over. And these were our last runs. We didn't even get near there. So the thing for me, for Occugen, that I want to see to continue this bullish in the long run is to get above that and use that 200 SMA as support from here on out. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. And that would be very bullish. If we can flip that 200 SMA and then hold it as support, that would be very, very bullish. And it can happen, right? And like I was saying, back with the golden pocket and our current price range and stuff, and going down, that's all out the window as soon as any news drops, which I think to me is any day. And for some reason, I think the next 2 weeks. I don't think it'll be the end of April, but maybe. But to me, it makes sense that's why Ocugen has not done their earnings yet. They don't know when they're going to do earnings because they're waiting. They're waiting for NIH, NIAID to drop that bomb, an announcement. Because if you don't know, Ocugen said they're the ones that are going to be announcing it. We're not waiting for Ocugen to announce the vaccine, Ocu 500 stuff. We're waiting for NIH to do that. And When they do that, they're going to announce the funding. Just one day, we're going to wake up and boom, NIH funding two trials for Ocugen, 150 million, right? That'd be amazing. We don't know. 50 million, 25 million, whatever it is, just that tweet or um, that sec filing, that tweet, whatever we get from NIH, and then Ocugen and all the others, right? That's going to cause a huge run. And like I said, as well as meeting NASDAQ compliance for several other companies has caused hundreds of percent run afterwards. So I'm very bullish at this time. Looking at the $1.68 right now, and yesterday we were at 210, does not bother me one bit. For one, probably because I'm in the profits now, so it doesn't bother me. And I'm just not worried. I know what's coming next. We should all know what's coming next. And what's coming next is continued bullish run. And I know I'm going to get questions like, where are we going? I don't know. But I see a lot of support and resistance in this area, right? Back here, and our new ones. So if we do get some sort of massive squeeze here in the coming weeks, I think it's possible that we could go up there. Why not, right? I mean, it's also possible that maybe we only go to $5, right? Until something real substantial comes out, like maybe NASDAQ compliance pushes us up to $5 for a short amount of time, and then we may go back down, or compliance pushes us up to $5, and then boom, NIH comes through, and then boom, we get pushed up to $15. But you can't bank on that, you guys. And like I said in some of my previous videos, there are people out there that are gonna be spamming stuff, trying to get you to um, to sell, or I mean, to not to sell. They're gonna be spamming stuff, trying to get you to hold because they want you to hold, which means the price will go up and they can sell while you're holding, right? If we start pushing up to $5, $10, that's all you're gonna see. Diamond hands, hold your position, because of course those day traders want you to hold their position so they can sell out from underneath you. And the best plan to make sure you get profits is to do this, just flip the script. What have you been doing the last 2 years? What should you have been doing? Dollar cost averaging in when you get that chance. And now as we go up, maybe do the same thing. Sell 100 shares here, 100 shares there. Or maybe for you, it's 1,000 shares here, 1,000 shares there as we go up. Or maybe do it in percentages. When we get to $5, I'll do 25%. When we get to $10, I'll do 80%. Or whatever your risk level is and whatever you think it's going to, right? Honestly, I have no clue. No one has no clue what it's going to go up to, because we don't know all that's going to come to fruition. We may get a really big spike here in the near term that eventually goes back down because revenue and stuff doesn't come until 2026. And some people might be mad at this stuff that I'm saying, you guys, because we just want it to go up. And trust me, nobody wants it to just go up and up and up more than me. I did not come from money, you guys. I've came from a very poor family, and I consider myself poor, right? I'm a teacher now, which is now I'm making the most money I ever have, but I'm also not very young. You might think I'm a lot younger than I am. I'm 38 years old, and I'm just now getting my degree. So I am not a rich person. So there's nobody more than me that would love to see this continue to just go up and up and up. But I learned that the hard way last time, and left my money sitting in here all the way back down because I just didn't know. I didn't know this stuff. And now I'm hoping that you guys will learn, right? That we don't make the same mistake again. and sit here and watch this go down. So if you have your plan where you're selling in small increments as we go up, and then when we get to a price where you're like, holy crap, this is it, then boom, sell most of it. Sell 80, 90%, hold your last 10% in case we do go to 20, 25, 40, all these insane SP prices that people are putting out. And maybe that's possible, but I think that kind of thing is probably only possible if it does turn into some sort of insane short squeeze, which I mean is kind of a fairy tale at this point in day, because they can just throw up that that block where nobody can buy or sell, and you know they know how to control the short squeezes now. Is basically what I'm saying. I don't think we could go to $40 in 2 days anymore, but who knows? I think if that kind of a price was to come to Occugen, it'll be after we have some revenue coming in. We have a product like Occu 400 that is being produced, manufactured, and being sold, right? Then we'll start seeing some real money. But also, meeting compliance today, and then whenever we get the official, you've the official letter, you're off non-compliance. I think that's going to open up the doors to a lot of institutions to start piling in, because right now they're probably not able to, right? Like, whose boss is going to be like, oh yeah, put $1 million on Ocugen right now. This company that's not meeting NASDAQ compliance, right? They're not doing that. But as soon as we have met compliance, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. They're all going to start buying it. And then when we get to $5, even more so, right? A lot of hedge funds, institutions can't buy stocks that are under $5. And then when we hit that point, maybe they will start piling in, right? We don't know. All right. So I think I still have a couple more things to show on this part. Pop back up here. It looks like the stream is on a pretty big lag to me, but I'm not sure for you guys. All right, so this is tomorrow. Shankar is talking at the Pharma USA tomorrow. This is the one where he's moderating. So that's going to be really interesting. So he's moderating this panel for these people, and we'll see what happens, right? It's about pharma's superpower and partnerships. I'm very interested to see what's going to come out of that, but unfortunately, we probably won't be able to find out what he talks about here anytime soon. All right, here, I'm not even sure you're going to be able to see that one. It's just non-compliant companies saying, when you're non-compliant, we will give you a letter within 5 days. When you reach compliance, we will let you know within 1 day. So possible tomorrow, they're going to let Ocugen know, hey, you're back to compliance. Very bullish. Okay. If you don't know, we have a big pharma partnership finalizing, right? They put that, this is from Ocugen's latest deck from their previous, from the last show they were at. So they told us they had this big pharma partnership finalizing. People have been throwing out all sorts of names. We'll see what comes of that, hopefully very soon. Also, oops, I think I accidentally put that one in twice instead of the other one I wanted. Dang it. Oh, well. The other one was where it said NIAID early 2024, which has to be in the next 4 weeks. So we will have news from both of these within the next 4 weeks, according to Ocugen and Shankar. All right. that is all, folks. Thank you for those that are here. Sorry I couldn't make a video until now. After I messed up that last video, I just could not push myself to make another one. It was a lot of work I put into it, and it all was for nothing. So it took a lot for me to do this again. So count yourself lucky I made another video, and it is a lot of fun to do. I just don't have time to do it. And having said that, in the description I put a little thing down there. It says it's buymeacoffee.com or something. If you guys appreciate what I do here and the time I'm taking out of my super busy schedule to show you guys this stuff and tell you what's going on, it's literally just a little tip to buy me a coffee in the morning. That's kind of my vice. I buy 2 mochas a day, and it's making me go broke. It ends up being like $400 a month, which is definitely the stupidest investment I am doing. But it's my vice, right? It makes me feel good to drink my mocha. All right, so I gotta end here because I have to go to work in about an hour, and I have to start getting ready and stuff. So yeah, check that link in the description if you want to give me a little tip to buy a coffee. That'd be great. If not, that's not why I do this. I hope what you guys saw today helped you in some way, and I hope I can make another video soon for you guys. And hopefully we'll see another push up here pretty soon in Occugen, and like I know we will. All right, okay guys, have a good day.